my response to that. So, as Tony Fauci would say, if anybody has a problem with the casting of the podcast, from the bottom of my stethoscope when I used to be a doctor in med school, go fuck everybody. Yourself. Don't fuck anybody else. Fuck yourself. I'm Tony Fauci. And remember, don't get too happy with the vaccines. There's a lot of strains out there. Keep your masks on. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm a fucking star. And if this thing is truly over, I'm going to go back to my little desk in my 3x4 office. I wear, I have a little bow tie. I don't talk to no one. I check my Instagram. I get dick. All right? So go fuck yourself. And remember, stay cautious and let me at least be on CNN for another 2 months. I'm 80, but my wife and I get frisky on a regular occasion because she's fucking not an epidemiologist. She's fucking a star.
What you doing, Dana Carvey?
Michelle, I will be there in a minute. No, Michelle, no. I love her so much, but we've been in each other's face for about a year. Thanks to Fauci, it's going to go on a lot longer. Got to still wear masks, stay in. I've been vaccinated 3 times. Still says stay inside. I say, Tony, come on. Now I got some ideas for you. You guys have heard these jokes, though.
Which ones?
They were cut from the last episode. Here we go. Dana, I got an idea for a show. About guys in a bar. Everyone knows your name. It's called Here's to You. I think that's Cheers. Oh, fuck me. Michelle, what do you got? No, that's been done before. Nope, didn't like it. How about this one? The superheroes, a guy named Steel Man, big orange, huge green guy, big old, huge green guy. It's called the Revengers. That's the Avengers. Michelle, it didn't work. It's been done. How about this one? There's a big, huge boat, huge giant ocean liner. It sinks. I'm calling it gigantic. That's just Titanic. Oh, fuck me. Michelle, what do you got? No, I don't want oatmeal. I need an idea. Michelle, I will not have the oatmeal. You can make it, but I'm not going to eat it. No. Do whatever you want. Not gonna, Dana, I got to be honest. It's getting passive-aggressive. She just cooks stuff. I don't touch it. She cooks it the next day. I still don't touch it. Then I say, got an idea for a TV show? And she's like, come on. Now, last night we had Prince Harry and Meghan Markle over. All they do is quizzes about how to make money. I couldn't believe it. It's like Prince Harry's like, we like to get the deal like you. Spotify and Netflix make motion pictures. And I said, well, have you ever done a motion picture? No, but I love to watch them. All the colors and makeup and hair and action. So you want to be a movie producer just because you've seen movies? Yes. And I want a very large deal like you got. All right. What else you guys doing? Well, how about Spotify? We like to do a podcast. That's why we're in front of our microphones, right? And we just say whatever we want. We get a big fat check. Well, it's a little more complicated than that. Well, I didn't think so. I heard you and Springsteen. People are talking. Now, is your deal really worth $200 million? Could we get a little piece of that? I am a royal. Used to be. Not anymore. I mean, they're saying, now you know what they're saying is that it's like a mafia operation and the queen is like the mob. They said she's like a Dawn.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think she probably is.
I want to put a hit on Meghan and Harry. Are you sure, Mom? Yes, in Montecito. In an unmarked van. In the morning. Maybe when they're having eggs on the terrace. Just something quick. Well, all right, ma'am, but of course you know that you're suggesting, some sort of mafia hit on Meghan and Harry. No, it's not a mafia hit. It's just something that needs to be done. It's a piece of royal business.
What you doing, Dana Carvey?
Good to go.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we got him. Mm-hmm. It's been fun.
Criminy.
Criminy, Carvey. Jeez, nice. What happened to Bubbles on there, huh? Is your regular? How about me getting a 5 spot, okay? Not a lot going out in the Montecito. No, we love Dennis. We would do Dennis for hours.
When we're in the car going to a gig, half the time we're talking like John Wayne, the other half like Dennis Miller.
Well, Dennis relieves stress, and nothing makes Dennis laugh harder than when I go dark and cynical. So we played Dallas or something with Kevin Nealon, I think, and so Dennis and I the car always is on time at the airport. The car always gets you to the gig because that's like important.
Right.
But you always have a hell of a time getting the car from the hotel after the gig to the airport. It's like a cliche. So we come out, and of course, there's no car to take us to the airport. I know it's first world problems. I get all that and the privilege. But, I start going, yeah, never easy, man. Never easy getting out of these things. Nope, they fuck you. They'll bring you to the gig, and then they're done with you, and then the car's like a half hour. And Dennis is just in tears. Love that so much.
Where is he from?
Pittsburgh.
Because his voice is interesting.
He has a lot of rhythms. Do you think it's an accent, Larry, kind of, or?
Well, I'm from Ohio, which is close to Pittsburgh, and it's not like an accent. It's just got a very, like most successful comics, he's got a very unique voice.
Oh, that's true.
It came from him, and then he exaggerates it a little. I was just telling the Regis story. But yeah, with Dennis, it's just coming from that. Everything is kind of dripping sarcastic. I mean, I really believe if you look at his specials, no one ever wrote jokes better than that. I don't know. If you look at Black and White, don't you think, Larry? I mean, there's equal, but no one's written better jokes than Dennis Miller.
No, I've never. When the Black and White special came out, I just remember people in comedy clubs just talking, oh my God, that's the greatest writing I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's brilliant, but he's very funny. I mean, him and I flying, I'm sure I said that about us flying, Dennis. And
you two together?
Yeah, we would just joke the whole way across the country about because we've been flying from New York to LA a lot. And one time,
does he not like flying like you as well?
Yeah, doesn't really like it, and but I don't know. We're up there, but we just joke about it. So he'd be behind me. We're in first class. But the first year we were flying coach, and Joe Piscopo was in first class and got the flight attendants to say, and we were on Saturday Night Live, but we were flying coach.
Right.
And Joe Piscopo comes on the thing, Dana Carvey and Dennis Miller are with us today, but no one even knew who we were. And I was seated next to a woman who didn't speak English from somewhere south of the border. And she was very sweet, but she didn't know. So the whole flight I was helping her, like getting things unwrapped, and this is butter, and I was I just took care of her. And then on the way out, a woman just didn't know I was on TV. I'd only been on SNL like 2 weeks, but she's like, I really like how nice you were to that woman. I go, thank you. What's your name? She goes, Billie Eilish. No, I'm kidding.
No, Billie Eilish.
So Larry, we kind of went on.
I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
You had told me a great story. There was in the mid-'80s, MGM had this, an airline that was like all first class or something. It was like a gigantic private jet. And you were flying with Dennis and Lovett and had this horrible flight. Do you remember that?
Oh, totally. I had a lot of adventures on that. It was called MGM Grand, and it was seated. They took an old DC-9 and they put a bar in it and like a bedrooms, and it had like 20 seats or something. So one time I was flying, we're coming out of about 10,000 feet heavy. This was Paula was sitting next to me, and the engine kind of stalled, and the flight attendant went like this. So, and then John Lovitz, who's like a little kid, like, hello, the pilot flies it. What are you doing? He has no fear because he's just like a 10-year-old. So he comes back, after, a little bit later, he starts singing Buddy Holly songs to me because that guy died in a plane crash.
Who did Lovitz?
I'm singing. Can't you tell? Yeah, but John has no fear because Pilot Man will take care of it. And all I see is just flawed human beings that are hungover. And, one time the late, great Phil Hartman, who was a pilot as well, he asked the pilots about the plane. Like, what do you think about flying this plane? Because they got a low-rent plane and then put all this gold and tinsel in it to make you, And the pilot just grimaced and kind of tightened his shoulders and said, it's tight, man. It's tight. It's a tight plane. So, yeah, that was the engine stall on that one. And then there's other stories, but that one probably the only one I should say. There was a time where my wife flew with Tom and Dex, or maybe just Dex, on MGM Grand. And you're just a little kid. And then, then Bowie came in and took a whole bedroom, and they made the bed right this way, Mr. Bowie. But Dex was a little cranky, so he cried all the way across the country, and Bowie came out blurry-eyed and pissed and stormed off the airplane. And he said, that flight was tight. But that's true. It was fun in a way.
That's such a funny idea, though. A giant plane full of celebrities.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to think of this other thing. Oh, God, who was it? Richard Gere. So someone is sitting there reading a newspaper, and I'm talking to someone, I don't know, someone about James Ferrantino, which is a whole nother story. I did a TV show with him. I think he went to the stars. And he had a drug problem and this and that. So we're going on and on about James Ferrantino. And then Richard Gere, I didn't know he's there, brought the newspaper down. And he just says, I want you to know that James Ferrantino is a close personal friend of mine. That was a joke, but it was really funny. But in those days, you couldn't hold up a laptop, but someone would have a newspaper. They bring it down. It's Harrison Ford. On that flight, it was a cavalcade of stars. They bring it down. It's Bill Clinton. Everyone's hiding and bringing down things.
Behind their newspaper.
So we got a little silly today. I'm not supposed to repeat Red Rednecky. I'll just do one Red Rednecky joke for you,
You're not
Larry.
supposed to repeat it one.
I'll do the third one. Yeah. Larry might like this one. Let's see. Well, these two. This is Red Rednecky, the redneck comedian. When I turned 22, we got a proper toilet, but I still copped a squat in an outhouse. It could take whatever you got. No questions asked. Come on, get some. This is where Larry goes. Sold out shows. Grammy award-winning album, Red Rednecky.
I'll have to write mine down so you can do that one.
Chris did a good one, too, and someone wrote in a good one. I'm Red Rednecky, the redneck comedian. We was poor. My mama used to cut my pockets out so I'd have something to play with. Come and get some. Now, in the fall of 2021, 19-city tour, Red Rednecky and Sad Sacky.
His life sucks. My life's on fire. Man.
Sad Sacky, I'm telling you, that could be...
With opening guest Woke Mick Woker.
Hi, I'm Woke Mick Wokey.
That's it.
Hi, my name's They. This is my partner, Them. And our son,
Panda.
He identifies as an animal. Got a problem with it. We're so woke. We care about the world, and we're offended easily. But we'll call you out. Anyway.
Read about us on Wokepedia.
I love all these phrases. I want to be woke.
It's not a glass or a mug. It's a vessel.
It's not a what?
Glass or a mug.
Oh,
you can't even call it.
Is that right?
No, I'm just coming up
Oh,
with
that was
stuff.
a good one. Chris had me going. It's not a glass. It's a vessel. Glass is so...
Like a vessel of soda.
Yeah. These are ear enhancers. They're not headphones. That's unwoke.
They're just trying to make everything sound cooler than it is. It's like your
Right.
bit about tickets that you get before you go on the plane, trying to make everyone sound special.
Right. No one's in coach anymore. We'd like to
what?
welcome our golden
Chariot
star
riders.
members to Section 22. And now our elite platinum members can come into the middle rows. You're all special. First class is just human gods can now enter the front part of the plane. And the human gods section is now boarding. Anyway, some bit I did. It bombed.
It's like
No, it was a great bit, and it was because it's like you can't make anyone feel bad, so you can't say you're going to coach. They have to go with these phony names, and they did have like 8 or 9 different sections. I remember.
Yeah, elite goldens.
It's like what's happening, what we used to speak about with our kids. You know, everyone's a winner. So now it's got into adults. Like everyone is a first class writer.
Oh yeah, and there was a bully who was bullying the kids. So I called the parents and kind of say, hey, your kid, and they go, Oh, he's not a bully. These are quotes. He's over enthusiastic physically. So his fist just finds its way to another kid's face because he's so happy. Oh, well, whatever. We've got water. We've got food. We've
Yes.
got toys.
We have health.
We have health. Some people have electricity.
Some people have love.
Some people, yeah, that's true. And then, I don't know, Larry, what's your state of mind now with the pandemic? Gonna get
I've got none of the above. Because I'm sad, sacky.
Sandy Sansaki, see? Yeah, you should do some triple up on that sometime when something is so dark. That'd be funny. Sad Saki working a telegraph in 1880. What is he saying?
Someone told me it sounds like Edward G. Robinson, which I guess it does, but it actually comes from
That bird in the tree, right?
the bird in the tree in 8th grade. Yeah, I think he was sick, and every time I'd walk by the tree, he'd just look at me and go, meh.
Yeah,
I've got-
see?
He was mocking
I got
you.
a bad egg, meh.
I'm sad. Yeah, it is Edward G. Robinson a little bit, but the bird sounded like Edward G. Robinson. So all you haters out there, shut up, Brian. He didn't copy it.
To all the younger listeners, tell them who Edward G. Robinson is.
I had to tell him about Rochester last week
I
because John
know.
Lovitz was doing a character, an African-American gentleman who was a brilliant comedian on the Jack Benny show, but it may have came off offensive. Edward G. Robinson was a famous movie star in the 30s and 40s and 50s, and he eventually starred in a famous movie called Soylent Green, where they euthanize old people, and they put you in a room and you see a cavalcade on the screen because it's a dystopian world with no trees.
People eating people.
Yeah. Soylent Green is people. I can't do
People
Everyone
eating
you
people.
know's been dead. Yeah. Well, that was
What are
just
you going to do with Charlton Heston?
Charlton Heston. I know. The movie's brilliant. But
Yes. So that's who he is. To all you youngsters out there.
yes, and to Larry, who doesn't see a lot of movies, I introduced him to a Robert Redford movie, 3 Days of the Condor.
Oh.
And I loved it.
And I loved it.
Mwah.
So
I
Larry,
gave it four meh.
Oh my gosh, you probably could start a website based on, instead of Rotten Tomatoes, it's mwah.
yeah, it gets 2 mahs or 3 mahs. Yeah, this
Yeah.
movie got
Well, I don't like any kind of change, so for me to watch a new movie is a big deal. So you had me sit down and watch The Condor. I thought, I'm going to hate this, and I loved it.
Wait a minute. Most people don't like moving or
exactly.
or changing their diet, but to you, change is watching a movie you haven't seen before?
Yeah. I'm in such a rut.
Wow. Well, we're going to have a film festival next time you come down post-pandemic.
Well, then he's been fine during the pandemic because everyone keeps running out of things to watch. He just keeps rewatching everything.
Oh, I could show some stuff and blow your mind, but I would just start you with some of the classics, you know. We watch
People are, I was
Jake.
going to say people are so starved for entertainment, they're looking at me.
Is that your joke of the week?
No, I got a better one than that. I hope.
All right, we're
Yes, sir.
we're gonna have Pitt on in a minute, so let's hear your jokey.
Okay, the joke of the week.
Here we
Do I get
go.
the Big intro.
Yeah, what would you pick a character? I can do it at Regis or anyone you want.
Tom Brokaw.
Do it as Dennis Miller.
Okay. All right. Time for a little cheerful patter at this point, okay? Larry Brown got a little moniker in there, Bubbles, which indicates he'd be more effusive than he actually is, which entertains and delights audience in the greater Bay Area. He might get down to Sunnyvale sometime, check out his wares, okay? Yeah, he knew Herb Cain. That's all you need to know. Okay, so this cat is coming on each week on this podcast that politely calls itself Fantastic. Okay? Your ego called, wants to come back inside. Okay? So here he is with the joke of the week, direct from San Francisco, Larry Bumbles Brown. Okay, give us a joke now.
Well, my diet backfired. I lost 2 condom sizes. Now up at
Oh no!
I'm now a petite.
So you lost
Those
weight.
Two punchlines.
So you went on a diet and your thing shrunk. You lost weight in
Yeah.
your dick. Okay, I just want to say it.
We started laughing at the two sizes. That was.
Yeah,
I tried to keep it clean for the fantastic show. That's
no, that was a great joke. Good Lord.
oh,
Wow. Well, we should probably try to. We're going to do a technical rehearsal with Pitt. I don't know if we can have you on at the same time or. So we're gonna do them on the computer.
Our producer gave us the
Yeah,
no,
and I
the
think
hard no.
that's too much for our little technical brains at this point. But is there anything else you'd like to say, Larry?
No, but I did see a picture of Chris. She's quite beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Aww.
Aww.
I'm not hitting on you. I'm committed to Dana's sister, as you know.
Lori can't say, you got him in, Dane. We'll call Dane. He's
so
got a good
sweet.
voice, Dane.
Larry Bubble Brown.
Oh,
All these husbands are going to come after Larry.
she calls you Bubbles. That Bubbles guy sure sounds sexy. No, she hasn't gotten
Wait,
over
can
you.
you do her laugh?
Oh, God, I don't know. Usually with Lori, it was just she's so human. It'd be like she comes and visits. Well, call Dane. How do you lose weight, Dane? I go, well, you stay away from the carbs, this and that. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, she's on my deck, and she's got a glass of Chardonnay and French bread and brie. She looks at me and goes, are you mad, Dane? No, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm sorry. But we're going to have her on again soon. She's got a great laugh. So, all right, Larry, you've been delightful. And
As always.
we will talk later today,
week?
probably.
Okay.
I'll text you in.
We'll do a wrap up later. Okay.
Yeah, we'll wrap her up. All right, that was Larry Bubbles Brown with the joke of the week.
Bye, Larry.
Bye, Larry.
What you doing, Dana Carvey?
Hi, first-time caller, long-time listener.
See? It's better than the phone, right?
Yes, look at this technology happening up in this house.
Right.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Hey, you're wearing an Andy Warhol type shirt from the 60s.
Yeah, I kind of am. Or also Elvis, too. I could do Jailhouse
Yeah.
Rock.
Oh, yeah. Jailhouse Rock Elvis. Yeah.
That's a good
And
thing.
Dana, you're wearing a basic black.
It's a good thing. Yeah, I like
We're gonna
house
get into that
sitting.
now.
No, we don't
Let
have
me
to.
just say, I'm so happy that you like that movie as much as I do.
I think we're in a close race for obsession with this crazy movie. We try to outdo each other. That's where Paul and I got with Out of Africa, that we could just, say things, and now we're getting that way with Once Upon a Time, lines. But
Yeah.
bunch of goddamn hippies, property taxes up the butt, and get this mechanical asshole out. Hey,
I remember your hair, and I remember your white face.
yeah,
Spawn Ranch.
and I remember
You had a-
you were on a horsey.
Chris, have you seen this movie so you know what we're talking about?
Yes, I love the movie.
Are you real? I'm as real as a donut, motherfucker.
He just
Bam.
launches the can of
Yeah, right at the
dog
guy's
food
head.
right at his head. It's awesome.
So anyway, this is for people listening. This will be a hard cut. Hi, this is Mark Pitta. We almost had on last week, but we decided we're having him with different sound. We had some technical issues. Mark and I know each other as stand-ups from San Francisco in the early 80s. Hi, Mark. How are you?
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
There we go. See, he knows how to edit. Wow, that took 5 minutes out.
Now, does that mean I can't repeat anything I said the first time we recorded?
I don't remember what I had for breakfast. So no, we
neither do
want
I.
to well, let's just first of all say that I've referenced you a few times during these episodes. This is episode number 9. And you're famous for doing this character that is talking normally. You're famous among comedians as the best guy who does the guy who breaks. And I've been doing just you post break, where you kind of, and what I sometimes I can't believe they're doing that rhythm. But
And it's hard on the radio, or it's hard when they can't see you, because the key to it all is they see that you're trying to get your shit together so you could finish your.
But it's the transition is funny. I'm already doing the guy's already broke, and it was really sad. But you do the guy who's trying to hold back. And
I just it's sad because I was outside and they had to I witnessed this. They had to put down a lab, and it was a meth lab, but it was so cute. I don't know.
But where this came from was that because comedians who work clubs like we did, we have to it's not a theater piece. We have drunk assholes heckling us, and we have our traditional heckle lines. But you decided at one point just to cry as if you were wounded. So unpack that.
Yeah, I got tired of that. I got tired of saying, hey, this is the reasons cousins don't marry. The heckler lines. Like, sir, when you masturbate, do you get on top? Hey, bada bing.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to shut everybody up. And the heckler comes to you after the show and says, hey, I really helped you.
I don't come to Jack in the Box and bother you when you're working. That was a classic.
Right. I don't go down to the dry dock and knock the penis out of your mouth.
No, I don't slap the. Yeah, I don't know about the dry dog because I don't slap the dick out of your mouth when you're working.
I don't know where it happens, at a dry dock, at a Kmart. We don't know where it happens.
So then you decided.
All right, so I got tired of that, and the day I got heckled, and this is a prerequisite, but one time I didn't want to do the heckler line, and I said, ma'am, here's something you'll never hear. You smell good. All right, so that was that. Then an ashtray flew past my head. A guy threw a glass ashtray at me.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Hit the back wall, and Slayton came out of the kitchen with
Bobby
with
Slayton, the San Francisco rough and tumble New York comedian.
Yeah. He comes out of the kitchen with a meat cleaver. Go, who threw the ashtray? Who threw the ashtray? Oh, you know. And then I realized maybe I shouldn't do heckler lines. So when the next time I got heckled, I just said, sir, why would you say that? And the audience turned on him. Shut up, he's upset. That was very it makes me uncomfortable. It's just the stopping and not crying.
Crying is funny.
Just holding it back is what's so funny. As the man on the verge of tears.
But I love the idea of Bobby Slayton, this comedian, comes out with a cleaver. It's like when comedians attack. You know, it's just like they wanted to make them laugh, but instead they weaponized.
And then you think back of where that all happened. Was it at the Tropicana in Vegas? Was it here? No, it was at Charlie Goodnight's. It was a restaurant that had a comedy night. That's what we had to deal with in the early days. Just stage, lights, mic. Remember when all the rock bands went, hey, we used to work there. We were taking over where the rock bands, the bar bands.
When you look back on it, that's part of me. I just stand up in clubs where people were drinking. It's not really comedy. It's just survival. I mean, I think it was Rooster T. Feathers down in Sunnyvale, but it was maybe called the Country Store then. And it was
called the Country Store. And I remember there was a waitress with
I remember
hair,
your
white face.
Your white little face. And you were on a horsey. But there was a section of Hell's Angels or bikers in leather jackets, right? So I'm up there. Well, isn't that special? Doing Jimmy Stewart. So they start leaving, and then they were kind of heckling and loud. They just start leaving the room, about 20 of them, which is about half the audience. And someone up front said, what a bunch of assholes. But then they thought I said it. So then they start rushing the stage. But I never hold my ground. I'm like, you can have it if you want. Here's a mic. What am I going to fight?
In a comedy club, it starts slow. They stand up. And
that's a bad sign.
And then they start walking towards you. And with comedy clubs, the bouncer was probably the waitress. So
did that happen to singers? The summer wind, I kill you.
I hate that song. Yeah.
The guy stands up and starts walking towards Sinatra. Went through.
Well, I remember being on stage opening for you at the Orleans, and I always enjoyed that.
This was in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I was doing my 15 minutes, and 7 minutes in, I hear, Dana, bring out Dana. So it even happens in the nicer places too.
I did a lot of opening acts, and so coming out cold, like the audience is just settled, and then you come out just to a cold audience. I mean, like say that if there was a guy before you for even 3 minutes that went out and did a couple jokes, then you'd have twice the experience. But to be the first guy out is really hard. But you normally, by the time you got to 10 minutes, had them completely.
Well, but I opened for people like that weren't comedians, like Celine Dion. No one knows I'm on the bill. I'm not on a pamphlet. I'm not on the marquee. So
Right.
it's shocking to them when, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Caesar's Palace and an evening with Celine Dion. Now they think she's coming out.
Right.
And I'm doing the off
But
stage
first,
introduction.
yeah.
Yeah. But first, her very special guest. We're so excited to have him here. Would you welcome comedian Mark Pitta? And I would walk out to, and then the first thing I said was, thank you for that introduction. That was heartfelt. And then they knew it was me, and I got my first laugh in 1 second. So I
Right.
had a chance. I did have a chance.
I know, but that's just this idea of hand-to-hand combat of early stand-up. It's like I used to be so hurt by the gigs that I would bomb at. Like I played a restaurant where everyone was eating, talking, and facing away from me. And then I felt really sad afterwards. But later on, I thought, it's just the environment. It had nothing to do with me, but my feelings got so hurt, you know?
You're still holding on to some of those venues?
I'm easily wounded. If I go through my comments now, because I've never really been on social media, and if there's one...
Yeah.
If there's anything slightly even not positive, I just get really sad. Sorry, I'm doing you. Easily wounded. It's a combative, emotionally violent sport. Trying to become a stand-up comedian.
When I moved to Los Angeles and I asked my comedian friends their advice, and Kevin Pollak said, people are lined up around the block to reject us. It's like, just get used to that.
That's
true. I
true.
remember having an audition. We were in LA, so we were actors too, right? So I go to audition for this Vietnam TV show. It was a serious show, and I went to the Army surplus store and got a green jacket. I got a peace necklace.
Mm-hmm.
I did all this. I did the work on the show, and the whole time I'm auditioning, the guy's looking out the window or checking his phone, and after the audition, his note was, "Nice necklace." Next, so you just you leave the apartment, you go out, you drive to Century City, you find parking. Yeah,
I think I read a romantic scene. I read for hundreds of things and got 2 of them, but talk about rejection during the day and at night. But I read a romantic comedy, a romantic scene, boy-girl scene in an office with just one dude behind a desk reading the part of the girl. So why don't you come over anymore, Brian? Well, yeah. Cindy, I love you, and we're just alone in the room. It wasn't illicit. Yeah. It was just like, what am I doing here? But I did, when I was 26, I still was reading for 18. So I tested for War Games. I was up against Matthew Broderick, and apparently I was Marty Brest's first choice.
Really?
But they had to go with Mr. Broderick. Yeah.
That's so crazy. You see, I keep hearing all these nutty stories that you have.
I won't even go into them. But that was, for a long time, I was so like, I was aging out of high school age. I don't know if you felt that, like, okay, I can't read high school. And then I was aging out of college. And I thought, because you get so paranoid, your whole career is about just being youthful looking. And then I got an SNL and everything was just to make me older. It was great. Makeup. Can you play the old man? Your character's 80. So that was awesome. What about you? I mean, you did pilots and stuff. You did Hollywood television shows. You did one.
I had my own pilot that I wrote with a partner and shot, and it wasn't picked up. So that's the closest I got.
What would be the one-liner on that? What was it?
The one-liner that
the show. If you had to describe it, what was the show? Single.
It's hard to talk about because it's still. I feel wounded. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna take a Zoom break. Hold on.
Well, that's called Zoom gloom, by the way.
Zoom gloom. And COVID fog. That's the other one. COVID fog. Like, oh, sorry, I forgot. I had COVID fog for a second. All right. My pitch was I remember Carl Reiner, saying, well, write what you know, and he wrote the Dick Van Dyke Show about writing for Sid Caesar. So I said, well, I do live entertainment and interviews for Channel 2 in San Francisco. Why don't I be that guy?
Right.
And that way we have an excuse to have celebrities come into the show. And then it was the home life and all that. But my favorite story of that time was we couldn't cast the role of my father-in-law. And we wanted Alex Rocco, who played Mo Green in Godfather 1. And he wouldn't read, but he would meet. So he knew he had to impress me. So we're all in the room together, and I'm not saying anything purposely. And then it gets uncomfortable, like, okay, well, what do you think? You know, and I went, here's the thing. The Corleone family wants to buy you out. And I start doing Michael, and instantly Alex Rocco goes, I don't buy you up, Mike. You buy me up. I've talked to Bozzini. Your brother was banging waitresses 2 at a time. And I said, think about a price. And I walked out of the room. And I waited a second. I walked back in. I'm like, that was so much fun. So I got to do a Godfather scene with Alex Rocco, and then we cast him as the father-in-law.
Wow.
See, Mark would know a lot of lines from Godfather.
Oh, no. He's
gotcha.
obsessed with Godfather and obsessed with Al
Because
Pacino.
Dana was doing the Queen Mother as like the Don.
The rumor now is that the royal family and the Queen is like a Don. She's like a mafia and going to do a hit job.
So I
on-
was giving him like 2 lines that I remember, and he was doing it as the Queen Mother.
As
But
the
you
Queen-
probably have a lot of lines.
Oh, from Godfather? Yeah.
Oh, God, everything. My favorite is when you were upset with somebody, and you know you can't do anything about it, but you want to say, you have to answer for Santino, Carlo. That's when they have to.
But you
kill
always
Carlo.
did the classic Robert Duvall from
Robert Duvall?
Oh.
From
I
Godfather.
think,
Which part?
I don't want to pat myself
Which
on the
part
back,
was
but I've
Robert
never
Duvall?
seen- I've never seen
Tom.
anybody
He
else
played
do
Tom.
Robert Duvall.
Yeah,
What,
nobody
really?
has.
I've never tried because I
Let's
heard
see.
you do it and didn't want to copy you.
Well, I do the scene where Michael and Sonny and Tom Hagen are discussing what to do because the Godfather's been shot. You can't gun down a New York City police captain, Sonny. The 5 families will come after us. The Corleone family will be outcast.
I love it. I love it.
Can you do the
I used
scene?
to do Robert Duvall reading kids' stories to his grandkids. You know, that was I did in my act, and no
Yeah.
one got it. Like, 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish.
Oh, funny. I was doing that today.
You're not kidding me.
I was
Really?
doing that as Bobby Kennedy teaching Hitler. 1
Okay.
fish, 2 fish. Fries, dice. You know, like thing.
All right, well, they'll switch it up. Horton, here's a who. Who the fuck is Horton? You know.
Yeah, it's the tongue and the thing and the.
No.
Do the scene. Can you do the scene with Michael and when he's like, "You break my heart, Fredo."
Oh, that's Godfather too. Fredo, you
See,
broke
he
my
knows.
heart, Fredo. I knew it was you, Fredo. Hey, Mike, I'm not dumb. I'm smart. Not dumb like they say. When you come to visit our mother, I want to know a day in advance, so I won't be here. You're nothing to me now, Fredo. You're not a brother. You're not a friend. You're not the caterer. You're not craft services. That just came out of nowhere.
That's great. I love it. You're mixing because you went closer to your mic and it was like more intense. This is so much better than the phone call.
Oh, this is great.
For our
I'm,
listeners,
guys-
this is our first Zoom call.
You guys have to discuss, since we didn't get to it last week, the 2 different Al Pacinos: the Al Pacino the person and the Al Pacino the character,
There's 3 Al Pacinos.
There's 3.
young, old, and Scarface Pacino.
and the
Yeah.
one that was on the Golden Globes last night.
What was that? Did you see that?
Oh my God! Did
Was
he
he
have a wig
on?
on?
His hair,
It
well,
was
his
like-
hair was all way back, and then he had the
Tan.
Bride of Frankenstein gray streaks.
Then super
He's
tan.
either playing somebody or lost his mind. He's playing somebody new. He's always got a new wig.
Yeah. We're both possessed equally with Scarface.
And
As a movie,
the
too.
rappers took it away from us because all the comedians were doing bits. This was your point, Dana. I remember years ago. The rappers kind of took Scarface away from
Later
us.
in the 90s. But in the 80s, when it was out, we were all doing bits, and they weren't really killing that hard because the movie wasn't like Titanic or something. But it was.
I remember seeing it with my friend Scott in the scene where they kill the guy in the shower with the chainsaw.
Yeah.
And the blood splurting everywhere. Then they threatened to kill Pacino, Scarface, with the same chainsaw inches from his face. And my friend goes, he's going to get tetanus. It was the same chainsaw.
Was that friend?
didn't clean it.
Was that friend Larry Bubbles Brown?
No, my friend Scott. It was
Oh.
just my buddy Scott.
Well,
It
sugar
was-
doma.
civilians, when civilians say something funny, as we're giving a little secret here, we could take that. If a civilian says something funny, well, they don't have an act. They're never going to say
We're
that
not.
again.
We're not
I'm
threatened.
going to take that.
We're not threatened by it. Like Lorne Michaels
No.
always has these ways of couching ideas that are kind of interesting. They seem kind of arbitrary, but in terms of funny people on planet Earth, he said, "There's only about 900 of us." It's just such a specific number. Jerry Seinfeld says only 50 guys with an act in America and women.
Right. Right.
You know,
Right.
that's right.
So
Okay, so the
listening
difference
to-
between the Al Pacinos, the
Give
young
us all.
one.
Give yours three.
Dana, do you do all three?
I don't know. He does the younger, and then I just do him. I'm looking for a very handsome cowboy man. I just do him from Once Upon a Time.
Gina.
And you do Scarface too.
And I do Scarface. I do the thing, Lila.
Oh, yeah.
What you gonna do, man? You wanna play? Wanna play with me? That is such a funny, incredible rhythm to be inside of because it's tango. And I don't know if it's not woke, but I only recently, because I would do that in my stand-up, went to tango. I don't know, and it just made me laugh. I don't know if it's not very 2021, but to me, it's Al Pacino doing a bad Cuban accent. It has nothing to do with Cuban people.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't make the sweet potatoes. I told you at tango and crap my time. I like it, so that was.
And do you find as a comedian when you're doing a character, it's easier to ad lib as that character than it is as yourself?
Potentially, sure. You get I think it's self-hypnosis. That's what Anthony Hopkins told me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Tony and I, when we did Road to Wellville, Anthony would have a little Polaroid picture in those days of his character, and you'd just be talking to you about his child or whatever, and then they go speed, rolling. And he would look at it, put it right up against his face, take a deep inhale, and then put it in his pocket, and then he was the character. And he goes, it's self-hypnosis. Yeah.
Robin Williams told me when he was doing Insomnia with Pacino would do the same thing you just described, but with animal noises. So he would become an animal. He'd pick an animal to be as that character. And then Robin, when he was getting into his character, Robin would sneak up behind him and go, bah, bah, and just all these little animal sounds of Jill. Go away from me. I got to get into this. Okay. Pacino's much easier because he got older and a character of himself. But he had three voices. He had the young voice like this.
Well, it
My
was
kid's
kinda
3 years
tight.
old to get me funny papers. Then he became, I think it changed with Dick Tracy. I wanted generals. What do I got? Foot soldiers. That's when oh my God, what is he doing? And then he's been doing that ever since.
Where he's kind of reaching for a word, right? And he's sort of touching things and reaching for a word, and then he would bark it. And that was his
Yes.
new rhythm. I don't
Yes.
know. What? It's like, and that became a wonderful
You
rhythm.
know you need to get fucked or something. You can't sit around all day. You need a job. You gotta work with blind kids. You gotta work with lepers or something. You can't wait around all day for me to fuck you.
That's right. Your woman is so palore, you can't make a baby. I just do it way over the top now.
Actually, yeah, you
Yo
just start
can't-
leaving off the
You
last
can't even
three
make
letters of
you
each
can't even
word.
make a baby, man. But if you do it real. Robert Losha, who I did Opportunity Knocks with, because they didn't want.
I was
they,
with you.
They didn't want Jack Palance. They go, no, that won't work for comedy. City Slickers. But he said they never broke character. They just stayed in their Cuban accents on Scarface
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, there are some there are outtakes and some ad lib scenes. There's a scene where a gay they're in the refugee camp and some gay guy wants to suck his dick. He goes, "Oh no, that's not working. My dick not working today." That was an ad lib that came out. So oh yeah, so even he stayed in character and ad lib. What's for lush today? It's just too much fun. You're right. It's too much
fun.
Chris, by now you could probably do a bullshit
I can't.
Scarface.
I can say hello to my little friend. That's it. But I can't
Say-
say it. No, I can't
say the word,
say hello to my little
M-A-
friend.
Okay, say M-A-I-N.
Maine? Maine?
Yeah, but say it like hey man.
Hey, Maine.
Yeah, so you're saying hey man. Hey
Hey,
man.
man.
Hey, Maine.
What?
Hey,
Say
What?
hello to my little friend.
Say
Yes, sir.
hello to my little friend.
Oh,
Hello.
little friend.
Say hello
So there's no T.
to my little friend.
My little
My
friend.
That's right. Oh, and then you go past that and you get into Donnie Brasco. I got to do an impression of Al Pacino for Johnny Depp once. He was in the Four Seasons Hotel and we were crossing each other in a hallway. And I said, I got to say, you did a great job, as blah, blah. I did all compliments. And I said, can I do Al Pacino for you? And he's like, okay. And I go, Donnie, a wise guy doesn't carry money in his wallet. He carries it like this. And Johnny Depp, I'll never forget, he goes, that's really believable. And he walks away 2 steps, looks back at me like, what the fuck was that? Like a hit and run Pacino impression in the hallway of Four Seasons.
That's funny because you're just the guy in the hotel and suddenly you're doing this perfect Pacino.
Do your Frappuccino bit as
Now this is
Pacino.
your most surefire laugh in your stand-up act is Al Pacino at Starbucks. At least from what I can gather watching
Is he
you.
doing product placement with that Tropicana?
Oh yeah, I'm drinking my Tropicana.
And you
coffee.
do
I'm drinking-
play the Tropicana sometimes.
It's kind of the only place because only that's open and Brad Garrett's is open and a few other clubs. I've been there a couple times since the pandemic. Yeah, but now people ask
Clearly.
me to work, and I say, I will work for you, but do not pay me. I do not want a 1099 from you because I could work here for a week and get more money from unemployment. So don't pay me, but I'll work for you. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah. I'm your
Sometimes I'll go to
gopher, man. I
Starbucks
don't want a
and be-
1099. You pay me cash. I think it's a good plan. Well, we'll pay you cash, but we're going to sell it and live off the rent, that kind of thing. Maybe get a place in Toluca Lake. That's a good
you know
plan.
who told me that? What was the actor? He said, "You know who told me that?" And it was he named an old actor. Anyway, Cameron Mitchell told me that. But it
No,
wasn't Cameron.
O'Brien, someone O'Brien.
Oh yeah, Edwin O'Brien. You're good, Dana. You have seen it a lot.
12 times.
Edwin O'Brien told me that. So we're doing Cliff Booth as a comedian not wanting to get paid. That's the premise.
Well, yeah,
right?
from your idea. But give us, because we probably should close
I'm gonna
this
go
section.
on stage and tell jokes, but when I get off stage, don't act like you know me. I'll just take
Yeah.
the money from the government.
I remember you. You heckled me at the Tropicana. And you were on a drunken horsey in the lobby. I don't know what.
And this is the only way I don't think I'll ever get to meet Quentin Tarantino. So say Quentin Tarantino's listening to this podcast. I always want to ask him when they're watching the FBI episode, I know that Burt Reynolds was the star of that particular episode.
Mm-hmm.
So when Brad Pitt watches it, Brad Pitt laughs like Burt Reynolds watching that scene. I was wondering if that was a tribute to Burt when he goes, ha, 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 during that scene.
Well, he definitely
So-
created a specific laugh for the character Brad Pitt
Right.
did. And it was
So-
Burt Reynolds. Yeah.
Yeah. So to appease Chris, Al Pacino at Starbucks. Okay, I'm next. You got to act like somebody's in line with you. I'm next. I've been here quite a while. Okay. Oh, we got a call. Yeah, first time caller. Yes, can I help you? I'm sorry, I heard a phone go off. So
Oh,
you didn't hear a phone go off just now?
no,
We didn't.
no.
You've got to be kidding me.
Huh?
That's
your-
so weird
did you get
because
a
I
phone
heard it.
No, I did get a text, but we didn't hear it.
Oh, that's weird.
But
Okay,
how
I
would
heard a
you
little-
hear how would you hear it and not us?
That is weird. Okay.
Connecting the bottom.
Al Pacino at Starbucks. I like a tall, non-fat, no